Benchmark Mortgage covering up the baldness. All right, we're live, guys. Chris Peshek, Dripping Springs Home Team, Real Estate Extraordinaire, I guess, something. And Stephen Babcock, Mortgage Extraordinaire at Benchmark Mortgage. It's 5 o'clock. It is After Hours Real Estate. And
How are you?
I'm awesome, man. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm all right. It was a rough week. Got back from that vacation and got my phone working.
It's Monday, dude.
Say again?
It's Monday. How could it have been a rough week already?
Well, last week was a rough week.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't have a working phone for half the week, so it was tough to catch up that fast. But it was good. It was good. Everything's fine.
Cool, man. Are
So
you
you're driving? Not
I'm
drinking.
driving. I'm obviously
Good.
not drinking.
Yes, don't drink.
So what about you?
I'll drink alone. I went out and got a Fireman's 4.
Nice. Our friends down in Blanco, Texas, just down the road. Little real ale action.
They make a mean drink. Let me tell you, I love Fireman's 4.
That's a really good blonde. Yeah, if people have never had it, I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan.
I also had a root canal earlier today, so probably end up drooling out of the side of my mouth. So if anybody's
as you're drinking, you're gonna be bobbling.
Yeah, exactly. You can see that.
God, we're gonna this will go viral. This one will go viral.
So I rates have been coming. Rates have been going up, right? You and I have been talking about this nonstop, and I was talking about inflation, and I've been talking about the 10-year note, and how those are going up, and how the rates are bound to follow suit. Okay.
Yep.
So they've been following suit for a good 2 months now. Okay, we've been doing the show for what, like 4 months, something like that.
25th episode today.
Fantastic. And so, long story short is that if I'm worth anything, just like if you're worth anything, you know what the prices of houses are going for all the time.
Yep.
If I'm worth anything, I know where the rate is and what the forecast is for where it should be in the future. Because if you get under contract, contrary to popular belief, that is not necessarily the time to lock your loan. Now, it might be absolutely the time to lock your loan, but that doesn't mean you have to. You can wait.
That's right.
I can wait.
You can roll the dice.
Yeah, you could wait a long time before you have to lock it in. And I had one of those people, and hang on, time out. I'm going to drag our feet just a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
What does it mean to lock in your loan?
Oh, great question. Great question. So that means to lock in your interest rate,
okay,
which means you will then have a set price that you will pay for the rest of the time you live in the home. Now, there's other things you have to pay for, and usually those change, like taxes and insurance. But your home rent, so to speak, would never change.
Correct.
So imagine as though you were paying, roughly half of what you pay right now in rents, but you also have to pay for taxes and insurance. That's kind of what it looks like to get a mortgage. That's the best I can really come up with it to make it.
No, that's really good. So basically, you are. So if rates are fluctuating, you're kind of playing. What was the old game? No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. As you wait for a good rate. Let's make a deal.
I would say it's like playing the stock market, but it's more like the Bitcoin market, right? Because it's not just doing this and then maybe a little bit in this. It's just doing this all day long, right?
Right.
And so you kind of have to know where it's going, or at least you have to know what's coming up in terms of economic news. So the forecast is not so much what the Fed says as much as it is what people think the Fed is going to say. Right. So it's all
or what they think the Fed is going to do.
Right. It's funny to have that much power, though, but it's all priced in before anything happens. So the Fed then has their announcement, and some people are like, "Well, dude, the Fed had their announcement. They're shaving off 0.5%. Why didn't anything move?" It's like, well, because everybody thought they were going to do that, and they already put that into their pricing, right? But the long story short is that rates aren't just rates all day. There is no rate, right? Rates go up and down all day long, and if I know anything, I've been reading. The bottom line is I'm worth anything. Then I've been reading on the forecast of what the rate should be doing, and rates were forecasted to have a little bit of a bump and maybe a longer drop, right? And I was waiting for the bump, and here came the bumps. And I called my clients to say, "Hey guys, rates have been getting worse and worse, and right now they're the best they've been in 2 weeks. I'd like to lock you in. And by the way, locking in is locking you into that date and time. It's not locking you into a specific rate. I mean, it is because I have to select a rate, but say you wanted to change your rate later, you can actually do that, and you're still locked in it when the rates were really good after those 2 weeks. Does that make sense? You still with me? You're frozen on my screen. There you are.
Yep.
Kind of. Yeah, almost.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So bottom line is
You're
that
good.
we showed it on another one of your shows, our shows a couple shows ago, but I was showing rates and how each one has a price next to it. What you're basically doing is locking in to those prices. You get to select a rate, but if you wanted to change it in a week, you could just move to the other rate where that price was. So if the market has tanked, you're locked in at those prices. And they wanted to do credit repair first, and I was trying to explain to them that they should lock in, and they said, well, we'll just see if the market gets better. And of course, that very afternoon, the market started worsening a lot, and then it worsened the next day, and it worsened the next day, and now today it hasn't done much today, but for a while today it was pretty bad. It recovered a little bit, but I just don't think they'll get the same rate.
My question is you have a client who has employed you as a professional to have their best interest in mind. And when you told them, hey, guys, this is the best this thing has been in 2 weeks, I think you need to go ahead and take advantage of this, they shunned your advice.
Yes and no. When they heard what the rate was for them, that's when they shunned my advice, right?
So regardless of whether or not that was the best they could have done in the last 2 weeks, they just did not like the rate.
Right. And that's usually when they start shopping you, right, with other lenders. But it really just depends on where they've heard about you. So, these people found me online on a down payment assistance website. So they didn't know me. They weren't recommended by me to use me. They just saw my name. If you recommend somebody to use me, just the recommendation alone gets them to trust me a little bit more than you would if you just found me online. It's just the nature of humanity, right?
Where's the referral? Is it warm? Is it somebody that's had face-to-face contact, or is it from a computer screen? Yeah. Right.
So like I had one person today that was referred very, very warmly from another realtor, and they gave a few options, but great. I went out a long time ago. We started shopping, and today they're under contract. We got 27 days to close, which is almost enough. I need to rush now, right? So I just explained it to him, and he said, because of the appraisals, right? Appraisals are taking so long.
Yep.
And he says, okay, what do we want to do? And I said, well, I'd like to lock you in. He's like, great. What's my rate? I told him, oh, it was just that simple, right? But so I think that it really boils down to trusting you,
Yeah.
If those clients call around now, they're going to find other people have higher rates, or they're going to find some online lender that might have, the same rate that I had the other day, right?
Right.
I just, this is one of those professions where a lot of people see a lender as a car salesman, a used car salesman. They just don't trust you, kind of thing. Not that they're all bad.
Boy, I'm so glad that people don't see realtors that way.
Oh yeah, that would suck, wouldn't it? But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, so that same client that got that locked in with me this morning, right? He made a total of 2 offers on houses before he won.
Wow. Wow.
And that client that didn't lock in with me had made a total of like 20 offers before they won a bid. So
it sounds like somebody takes advice and somebody doesn't.
You get what you pay for. It's still true. It just is. I work with some realtors like you, right? If we make an offer on a home, you're going to send me the name of the listing agent. We're going to talk about, what offer we're putting together. Then I'm going to call the listing agent and be like, hey, what do your clients want to see on this? I know you can't tell the realtor, but you can tell me, right? Which they kind of can, right? They're not really supposed to, but it's a gray area. So if I can get any info out, then I'm going to tell you about it. We're going to restructure the offer. We're going to talk to our clients, and then boom, we strike gold, right?
Yep.
If you're using some online lender that doesn't know the realtor, and the realtor's cheap, and they're doing a discount, and you get a new one every weekend, and they make an offer, and those listing agents who know those cheap, thin places with 1%, and you get 7 different agents that work with you, they don't want to work with you. If you got the same offer or really close to another one, they're going to highly suggest we have a smooth transaction with this offer and not take the extra $5,000 on this offer. Am I right or am I wrong? You're the realtor. You tell me on that one.
100% accurate. I have these conversations with my people all the time.
Now, I give a lot of foreign investors, and what's funny is that recently I've said, I'm just using an analogy here because I don't know anybody's door to knock on. But if you're using an international lender or a huge, online lender, and something needs to be filed at the county courthouse, they're going to have a heck of a harder time doing that than somebody who knows the judge and who can just knock on the door, kind of thing, right?
That's right.
And I don't know the judge, but I don't even know what county we're talking about. But at the same time, when you work with somebody local, it might cost you a little bit more. But my Lord, if it's in this city, you just don't get a house otherwise. I'm not saying you can't, but
that's right. I heard a story the other day about a listing agent who, again, it may have cost her clients a little bit of money, but just the fact that the listing agent told the buyer, or knew the buyer's agent, knew that the buyer's agent was local, knew that the buyer's agent had been around for a long time, knew that they weren't just screwing around kicking tires. It's a bird in the hand type situation. It really is. Again, can you go knock on the judge's door, or are you just outside throwing pebbles against a window like, hey, let me in? I mean, like it or not, that's what happens. And as people, we like feeling warm and fuzzy and knowing that all the work that we're putting in is not going to be in vain.
Yeah. It's also, though, you have to know when to let go, right?
Yeah.
So, like, as a lender, especially, I could work with you and one of your clients for months, and then they go and find something out kind of in the middle of nowhere, and I can't get an appraisal done. It doesn't matter how hard I try. I can't get my people to get out there. And now you've been waiting 2 or 3 months, and I've been told, hey, we're in line. We'll get something. And I'm just being kind of jacked around, excuse my French. And, you are too by me inadvertently. And before you know it, you go to the local credit union who's really good at that stuff, and you close in 2 weeks, And it's, so at some point, this is a career where you have to actually say, listen, I've done a lot of work for nothing, and good luck with you. Right. And it's just part of the game. It stinks, but it's part of the game.
It is, but realistically, knowing your limitations is going to come back tenfold.
Yeah.
Actually, if you flat out tell a client, hey, look, I can't get this thing closed, you need to go to this, whatever it is, credit union that's over in Pretty, Texas, because none of y'all know where Pretty is. But, you saying that and setting those clients up for success, man, they're going to remember that. That's, and so will the agent, both agents. That's how you gain people's trust.
The other thing that I think lenders need to do a lot more of, these builders have been teamed up with these. They team up with these lenders, and they give these serious discounts. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? It's good for the client.
Right now, I am trying to hang on to my sanity with new home builders. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, we're not allowed to.
There's nothing wrong with the lenders going and working with builders. There's nothing wrong with that. I've worked with a lot of great lenders that were preferred lenders for home builders.
Yes.
So carry on. I didn't realize I was shaking my head so big.
That's okay. It's all right. And we're not really allowed to disparage other people in our industry, so we'll just stop right there, right? But long story short is that I have had a lot, if not every one of the clients that I've had that have gone to a new build, they are forced to apply with another lender there.
Forced.
No, not
yes.
Forced.
Oh yeah, forced to qualify. Yes, forced to qualify.
It's you either apply with our lender or you can't live here. Sorry, you can use your lender, but you have to apply with our lender, right? I don't like that strong arming kind of thing. I think it's really dirty. But I don't know a builder who doesn't do it either, except for maybe custom.
Especially in this market.
Right. You need to be pre-qualified, but you don't happen to necessarily need to use that person, right? Which there's laws in place to try and avoid that kind of thing, and they just don't care. So, all right. So, then the other thing is they always give a lot of incentives, right? Now, I guess they're probably not doing that so heavily these days.
Now.
Yeah. But You'd be surprised that, I mean, the average lender is prohibited by law from discounting, from going skinny, so to speak, or to cut their own commission to give you an incentive, unless you're shopping them. Okay. And then once you do shop them, then all day long we can give that up. Now, it's not necessarily that we want to, but if I were to put on paper the most I can possibly give up, and you walk over to the builder, like I did once a few years ago, a client of mine, I matched the builder's lender's costs. Lender didn't have any more room left, so they went to the builder, and the builder shaved $10,000 off the price of the house to keep them in house. Right. So again, I didn't get the business, but
good for the consumer.
They've been sending me people for years now. That's right. I would too, right? If you say me 10.
Heck yeah.
So
without a doubt.
All right, brother, you wanted to do a quick show. I think this is a quick show.
Man, that's quick. Yeah, it is. I'll next week, should I get into some of the crap I'm seeing with new home builders?
I would love to see anything out there. I think what we really need are more updates, and I don't know. I think we used to have a lot of people that would comment on this stuff. I don't see any comments right now. Nobody has any questions.
No, not seeing any. I'll give you an anecdotal update. Let you know how crazy the market is.
Yeah, be great.
Was talking to a friend, and right now, everything's going multiple offers, right?
Right. Yeah, I know.
So was talking to a friend, and they had agents with clients through the house all weekend. Just crazy number of people through the house, and 0 offers. Agent was freaking out. House was clean, needed a little bit of help, but wasn't priced, absurdly. Agent's freaking out. On Monday, they started getting offers, not from the ones that saw it over the weekend, but from the agents that were coming in on Monday showing it. And they ended up with multiple offers by Tuesday, when they had, I forget what it was, 25 showings over the weekend, 30 showings over the weekend. Crazy stuff happening right now. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, it does to a certain degree, though.
Well, and so
it sounds like buyer fatigue.
What's that?
It sounds like buyer fatigue.
It does, and that's what my thought was. Is that I think maybe, and I told a buyer of mine this also. They couldn't compete with multiple offers. Like, there's 0 way for them to compete.
Right.
And so what I told them is, look, we've got to wait until Monday after the weekend, and if things aren't in multiple offer situations, then we go look at houses and see if we can get them the following week because somebody didn't buy it the weekend. Then maybe you can get by with buying it at the asking price if it gets through the first weekend. So I think that might be what's happening a little bit, which,
I saw this advertisement on my road trip last week of a realtor saying, multiple offers in 72 hours, or I'll list your home for free.
Yeah, Chris Waters has got a big billboard out here with it on there.
Wasn't him. He's doing the same thing. All right, fine.
3-day under contract and 3 days guaranteed.
Give him the wrong phone number. You'll be fine. No, it's all good. All right, cool, man. Cool. That's crazy. You know what? Fine by me. I hope they slow down, because you got $350,000 buyers that are going into $250,000 homes offering $350,000, and it's getting crazy
because that's the only way they can do it. Yep. But
yeah. All
right, brother. Let's get out of here, guys. As always, if y'all got questions about real estate, call me. If you got questions about mortgage, call Steve. We are available, and trust me when I say, if you want to go grab a beer and just talk about fishing or camping, we'll do that too.
Yeah, yes, we will.
All right, man. Have an awesome week. We'll talk to you next Monday.
See you soon.